In this episode, we will be showing you how to make this pudding stone table.
Today we'll be working on pudding stones. We're going to make a pudding stone table for all your pudding stone lovers, which there's a lot of them out there. So stay tuned and we'll speed this up a little bit, get over the boring part, and process one will begin. Alright, I think we got it pretty much filled up where we want it. Some of them are going to be sticking out, which is fine. It looks more like a river that way. So the next step is to get the two-part epoxy, and we'll make a batch up and we'll do our first seal coat, as I call it. Make sure everything is set up and all the cracks are not leaking. You don't waste that much if there is a little leak somewhere, but the main thing is just have some fun and rock on. Got the next batch mixed up, and I always have other projects going on, whether it be some rocks or another table, something. So if I have extra, I can use the excess for it. I like to go around the edges and make sure I get a little bit heavier coat to fill in any of the silicone areas. And this area here on the edge is live edge, seems to soak in a lot more too, so yeah, make sure. Over to this corner, make sure got some running down. Alright, the next step, I like to pour a little bit around, kind of seed the rocks in so I don't move it. Move around a little bit. When you move the table to set it up, to level it out to get ready for the final steps, it's nice to have the rocks not going anywhere. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. Oh, beautiful rocks. You want them all wet, make the pretty stand out. But this time around, our goal is just to seat them in a little bit and have a little fun with this stuff. Why don't you follow the directions and do what you're supposed to do and mix it. Plenty of time for mixing, and temperature, I don't really concern myself too much. Most of the time it's in the 60s down here. The furnace is kicking on and off down in the basement. It seems to set up. I always give it the next day before I put another coat. I'm sure it sets up way before I get to it, but I think other than dripping out the rest of this, I am gonna let you guys go and you can see the process of the next step later on. Alright, talk to you later. Just tuning in. We have a lot of small pudding stones in there, a couple a little bit bigger ones. Most of it will be bumpy, it'll be sticking out. But I had to save up for a couple years to find all these pudding stones, so this table is going to be very unique. It's going to be probably one of our tables that we're going to keep here at the house, unless somebody offers some money for it. And then I'll have to, of course, go out and look for more to replenish the pudding stones to do another table for ourselves. But that's the kind of problem I like. I can handle that kind of problem. I have to be forced to go out and rock count. Get some of these other ones here wet. Our final coat will brush on some more, and that will cover all the rocks up. Oh, yeah. Don't realize how beautiful some of these are, especially if they've been in the bucket for a couple years. You don't see them, you just throw them in when you first find them, and then all of a sudden it's like you found them all over again because you haven't seen them in a while. So well, I guess we'll let you guys go, and we'll be back to take the bubbles out as soon as I get the cup emptied. So we'll check back in a few minutes. I'm here pouring our final process on the table. So I kind of skipped ahead a little bit. The wife wasn't ready with the phone videotaping, so I will just get the worst of this out of the cup and spread it around with a brush. Once I get it all spread around on the brush, I will have to get the bubbles out. And I better do this right now because it is heading over to the side. I don't want it to leak down in. Make sure you put a nice even coat, and it will soak in. So every once in a while I have to go back over and touch up some spots, so when you work on another project and you have leftovers, you can always touch another table up. That way you're not wasting any material or brush. You get a couple different projects going on at the same time. Make sure you get all the tops of the rocks. And you want to make sure you get a nice coat on all the rocks. You don't leave thin spots, because then you'll see the brush marks. There's not enough to gel together. Rock in there. I think I got it pretty thick. Oh, I just gotta go around the edges here. This wood here is leftover cedar. So a lot of people ask why you kind of use the same wood. It's because it's free, and free is better than paying for it. Recycle when you can, and it keeps the cost down on the tables. We like to keep these under $100 if we can. But this one's not for sale. This one's ours, because it took a while to collect all the pudding stones. Alright, I'm going to go back over this, make sure I got enough fluid over on this side. Alright, then you get just right in the light and you can see whether or not you have any spots. And also you can see if you get any of the brush in there or pet hair. Get it out now while you can. Excuse me. Okay. And then put this down. Get the hair dryer out. Need to brush back. I don't have enough over here to see the streaks. So, there we go. Make sure you get it in there. And then also you can use the brush to get those stubborn areas where the bubbles don't want to pop. So you can use this to spread that around. You can pull the really concentrated bubble areas up on the wood and then spread it out, let it, the fluid slide back on in, self-level.
Okay.
Alright, we are done with this table, except for I gotta do a little bit of poly acrylic around the edge. It's a lot cheaper to do it that way than just two-part epoxy. And I'll do 2 or 3 coats around that, make sure you get all these drips that come down on the side all blend in, so it looks good. So this table is complete, and we'll talk to you later. Rock on.